Lift all your cables up. Get the screwdriver out of the way. Lift all your cables up. There's a cable underneath, harness underneath. Leave that alone. Alright, so we're going to get these out of the way. I'm going to take this, put it underneath that cable on the far end. I'm looking for other cables and I see them down over there. We're going to put this on top of the wire. There's a wire right there. We're going to put it on top. Making sure that I can see this all in the video. We're good. Alright, so we're going to plug in the SATA interface for the hard drive. You know, before we do that, let's hook up these other connectors. It's deep underneath here. And time for the fingers. There's a connector right there that if we put this all the way in, we're not going to get to. So that's the one that you cannot get these upside down. So don't worry about that. Alright, plug that guy in, it just seats right in. We have another connector here. Remember, these are all in the direction of where the connectors are. Don't forget the ground wire that's under here. And grab it, it's right there. We can't put that in place until we go screw it down. The screw goes in over here, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, it's going to be a lot of fun to get in. Alright, so this guy runs in back here, and then hooks up. So we could probably put that in place after this is in. It's far enough. So my thing is I want to get that screw in over there. I want to get these connectors in. So I want to make sure that this is on top of the motherboard. I'm going to grab that screw, or that ground. I'm going to hold it up there. I'm going to slide this into place. I'm lining this up right here. Trying to get the light in. I'm lining this keyway up and I'm sliding it in. I'm pushing and it's in. All the holes are now lined up all the way around. Take this connector, plug it in. Okay, take the side connector over here and plug it in. Just grab it and push it in, you'll hear a click. That's in, that's in. Work your way around. We have a connector over here to put in. And don't forget the ground wire when we go set it down. We have a connector over here to go. We're keeping this, oh, we lost it, but it's right there. So that's good. It's sitting right there. That's what I'm worried about, getting that back into place. Where I'm putting this connector on right here. I'm putting this connector on next, right here. I'll put my wireless device back in. Put the screw in right here. I have to hold the wireless device down because it springs up. So I'm going to put that screw in. I didn't see a screw for the other side. There's only one screw here. There is an area for another screw there, but I don't see it. Now you have a white and black wire. The white wire is longer, it wraps around this way, so the white wire goes on the one furthest away from you if you're sitting with the processor over there. And you just push these down on top of the posts. And you gotta make sure they're all the way down. You don't want them popping off. Being a little stubborn. I think that's on. Shake them around, make sure they're not going to come off. Alright. Just set them down. There we go. Alright. So now, take a look around. I think we have everything in. There's a ground wire that has to go in. That's where the fan is going to get in. I'm worried about that ground wire right there, actually manipulating it to get down. So we're going to do something right now to help us with that. There is a bracket here that all it does is hide cables. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that hold this thing down. There's a 7th screw right there that holds this thing down. Alright, so we're going to take 7 screws out. All you're fighting with is getting this part around the harnesses there. So this gives us a lot more room right there, and perhaps we should have just taken off before we started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a, I need the small screwdriver again. What I do is I hold the screw on like that. Alright, so go through the ground wire and then into the hole. And put that down. So we're going to go around and put all the screws in. And remember, you don't want any screws left over. If you have screws left over, you did not put all of them back in. Arrows there, but I don't see any threads underneath those two. So don't worry about that, and don't worry about these two. So we have all the screws. So now you're going to have this cleaned. All right, you are cleaning this off. I'm going to just pull it off as much as it's going to want to come off. This processor has a substance on it that actually transfers the heat. I'm going to pop it off. Okay, because we have to clamp this down. So that's all that gooey stuff that's on the back of it, and it does not come off your skin very easy. There's 3 indents on the corners, and then there's an arrow on one corner. The arrow goes down there. So it's the shiny part. So we have to look on the motherboard for the arrow, and the arrow is up on that side. So that's where this thing actually goes in. So be careful not to touch the pins. So that's going to sit down. We're going to bring the arm all the way up, and it sits all the way down. We take this and we lock it down, and there you go. So that's why it was so hard to get this off, is because the stuff on top of that. Alright, so we're going to take this. This is going to be clean, don't forget. We're going to put it on top, and we have to find our screws to put all these down. Alright, we're going to put the screws back into the Now if you notice that these are the only things actually keeping this into place. There's nothing to mount that onto except for right here. And also there's a substance that goes between the heatsink and the processor that you might have to get. It's a white gel that actually goes on there that keeps the heat flowing. Now once again, you want to make sure everything's clean. I'm not worried about cleaning this because I'm taking it back apart. Alright, so before you put this down, go ahead and connect the connector. It's kind of dark right here. Let's see if I can get some light on the subject. And keep my hands out of the way. Alright, so that it's only one way to go on. You can't get this backwards. Alright, so you're going to put that fan back in the spot. Alright, so it's on there. And then you're going to put this guy down. There's no ground wires around. There are 1, 2, 3 screws that we took out. Alright, and let's go ahead and put those in. I want to make sure I have the right size screws before I put them in. Okay, so one goes here. Alright, next up, I'm going to put this guy back in. Now you have to be careful. Remember that one clip right there? I think it goes on this way. So this clip right here was interfering with the wires there. So we have to manipulate this. And there's a screw hole right here, right there, that goes into right there. So we need to work our way in there. So not let it, get our screwdriver in there to kind of lift the wires around. move the wires around so we can get this thing to sit down the right way. And we see all the holes. We're not smashing any wires. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Alright, we're going to take the thick screws. This takes a regular screwdriver. And these guys will drop. So be careful you don't drop them. So that's all the screws. And I don't know if you can see them all in there. Alright. So still be very careful about the about what's underneath this. We don't want anything down there to bother the screen. It almost seems like it's floating though. Alright, let's take this guy. Okay, now remember this is where your RAM was. Okay, this is where the RAM goes, and there's a plate there. Everything should go right down, nice and easy. Be careful, our harness over here goes through. Don't forget the one spot I told you about, right over here. There's that little keyway. That's right there, right in that area. So once we're on that keyway, we are good to go. And that's it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take a screw. Okay, put the screw inside the grounding wire. Put your screwdriver on the grounding wire and guide it down into the hole. And that's the best way that I know not to drop the screw. And that should work just fine. Okay, now we're going to I don't have all the screws in. I'm just going to be taking this thing apart anyway, but you want to make sure all of your screws are in. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the back on again. It does, I'm going to warn you right now, it does take some time to do, some manipulation to do, some patience to do. You're not going to break anything, so all should be just fine. Okay, we're going to grab our monitor. I have my legs spread apart, so I'm on the frame of the monitor. I don't want to have my legs coming in too much in contact with the display at all. Okay, we have got to remember how the back is. All right, right now I have the latches on the bottom that we have to go into. So I need to turn this over this way. Alright, because if you remember the HP on this was upside down. So we're going to put this over, opening is over the hard drive, that's where the stand is, and we're going to go in here. I like to try and clip the bottom, or which actually the top, which is closest to me. I found that was kind of difficult to do. So it's just squeezing everything back into place. Alright. So just work your way around and squeeze it all back into place. And of course that side doesn't want to go in, so if anything you got to pop it open again to get it to seat down. But you'll get it. Right here, this bottom part's not going in, so I need to push it down to get it in. Alright, and I have no problem getting a screwdriver and pushing that lever down to get underneath and popping it closed. Alright, I really hope I got that in the video. Alright, so it's all done. Okay, we're going to grab our stand. It's got a little lip right here that has to go in first. So we put it on the bottom and we slide it to the top, and it's to where we can leave our hands off. We have the biggest screws you got. The big ones. Alright, Phillips head. We're going to take one at a time. We'll put our hand underneath if we need to. And put them in the spot. Be careful you don't drop them. Okay, we have our plate. This is the plate that we had to pry off with a screwdriver. We're going to slide that back down You put the upper part, and you have the back part lifted up. You put the upper part in first, you put it down, and you just push down. Work from the top down and snap it back into place, and it's all done. All right, let's see if I can get you should be able to see that. The memory cover, you're going to slide back into place and move the rubber thing out of the way, put your screw back in. Take your small screwdriver, Phillips head. Screw that down. Over here, on this side, we have 2 screws going in, but first we have to put our CD-ROM back in. Alright, so slide it in. Only goes in one way. You can't turn it upside down. You push it in. Take your small screw. The small screw is going to go in the upper one, and that's the one that's actually going to hold the cover on. You put the cover on. I've actually tried putting this cover on after putting the screw on, and it didn't work. Okay, small screw goes in the top cover, and the long screw, this really long thing, is going to go in the bottom. Okay, take your rubber, put it over, and you are done. That's a complete disassembly and reassembly of the screen. So now, hope you enjoy it, okay, and I hope you have found out that, hey, number one, video card is on the motherboard. Motherboard has to be changed to do it. Number two, you got to take the whole back off in order to clean the fans, which is a pain in the rear. So, glad I didn't buy this. It was given to me. That's all I got to say. Have a good day and subscribe. Bye.